I promise you that if you stay with me, this is going to be one of the best ChatGPT for SEO videos that you've seen. In this video, I'm going to show you how I figured out to use ChatGPT and the web browsing feature to go out, pull in a competitor's web page, then have ChatGPT analyze the web page and tell me exactly how to improve it. So then if I'm writing a new article, I'm refreshing, improving an old article, or I'm having an AI writing tool write the article for me, I am able to improve on the process that can help outrank the competitor. Now, as we always know, topical authority, domain authority, how well known you are in the niche, how long you've had your domain, those are all factors. But we want to make sure if we're creating any piece of content that we're looking at our competitor and we're asking, how do I improve this? And ChatGPT can do this for you. So I'm going to go to my screen and I'm going to show you how I pull this prompt with ChatGPT. I'll give you the prompt. Then I'm going to show you, I will give you a link below in the description to access the written resource for this video in case you want to follow that along. And the tools that I talk about in this video, because I do showcase a couple of the other tools that I use, although you don't need to have any of them. I do have a ChatGPT for Bloggers course. You can find that over at www. And it doesn't need the www. ballenacademy.com, and you'll be able to check that out. Let's go ahead and go over to my screen. There we go. And I am going to put myself back up here so that I can chat right along with you. Okay. Now, here's exactly what I did. I went to ChatGPT and I activated the web browser. Now, I'm going to show you a couple workarounds for this as we move through this, but I need to show you exactly how I did this. So I have the $20 a month version of ChatGPT, and they rolled out web browsing as part of the tool. And how you get there, if you have it, is you come down here to the 3 bullet points on your screen next to your profile. Then you're going to go to settings and beta features. When you go to beta features, you're going to see this option. It'll probably be turned off when you first have it, but if you turn that on, you can just toggle this button, turn it on. You will now be able to browse with Bing, which means ChatGPT goes out and uses its Bing search to bring back new recent data for you. So it's using that web to go out and pull in actual real-time data. This is going to be important for what we're doing today. You might be able to also do this by downloading a Chrome extension that's free, such as Web Chat GPT. This is better, in my opinion, because it's in its native form and it works really well. But you can use any Chrome extension that allows you to search the web. If you have a software like Jasper or one of the other AI writing tools that has ChatGPT built in some ways, you might be able to do it from there as well. But in my particular case, what I do is I go to a new chat, I go to 4.0, I activate the browse with Bing, and then I run this prompt, okay? Now, I already ran it, so I'll give you the example. The prompt, you're just going to type in here where it says send a message. I already did that, so it looks like this. Here's your prompt. How can I improve this article? That's it. How can I improve this article? Put a colon and paste the article that you want to improve upon. Okay? Just paste the article you want to improve upon. And if you want to do this with your top 3 competitors, you can do that. I'm just going to show you the one. Now, in my particular case, I already have this article written through my software. So if you haven't seen my other videos, I'll put a link below. Serve for SEO. I've been using Serve for SEO for a couple years. It's a tool that allows you to write within the, you can just type yourself within the editor, and it will then optimize how well it is optimized. It's going to score how well it's optimized for the search engines. It goes out and scours the web, pulls in your top competing articles, and it basically tells you how many words your article should be. Google isn't counting those words. It's more about how deep you need to dive into the topic. Then it gives you an estimate of headings, paragraphs, and images based on what the other 10 or the other top competitors have. And then it tells you basically the keywords. We used to say semantically related, They're now called NLP keywords. These are the basic keywords that are coming up over and over again on the other blogs. So they're covering these topics. So you should probably cover those too. And then there's some other ways to use Surf for SEO you can see in my other videos. But they just rolled out a new feature that I'm all over, and it's an AI writer that actually writes for you. So in this particular case, for this example, I'm just showing you an article that I had Surfer write for me. So I bought a block of these articles. I put in the keyword, and Surfer wrote the whole article for me and optimized it. So out of the box, it has an 89 out of 100 optimization score. I don't need to over optimize or go any further than that. But while I go in and improve this article too, based on the suggestions of improving my competitor's article, I may come in here and do some more stuff to this. And you'll see throughout this video, I'll show you how that works, okay? If I have not yet written this article, I'm going to go through line by line by line on how to improve the competitor's article. I'm going to make notes, and then I'm going to start writing from there. Okay, so however it is that you're doing this, if you're using AI Writer or a one-click writer, in any case, I'm going to go look at this and cross-check my own article now that I want to rank and see if I've covered all the bases as well. So it's kind of like I get this almost this little audit of my own. Now, I can tell you right now that ChatGPT knocked this out of the park. I went through it all. I went through a practice of adding this to my own blog that I had written, and I couldn't believe how much better it made things. So it did a really good job. So number one, it says add visuals. Now, I went ahead, let's go ahead and pull up our competitor's article here. So if you go click on this little arrow, it'll show you what it scanned, how it read. So I'm going to click that little arrow. It'll open my competitor's article. First thing it says here is add visuals. It says the article is very text heavy. Consider adding relevant visuals like infographics, flowcharts, or screenshots to break up the text and make the content more engaging. For example, a flowchart can visualize the steps in a content audit, or screenshots could illustrate how to use Google Analytics for auditing, that kind of thing, okay? I went over here, scanned the competitors, and sure enough, the only images they have besides ads are these call to actions, which don't apply to the blog. And I'm scrolling down. Those are all ads. Those are 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 ads. I come across one image, one screenshot. Now, according to Surfer, we should have 15 to 18 images based on correlating data. It's not saying 8 images or 10 images or 15 images is going to make your blog rank. It's saying the other ones that rank high, most of them have more images, okay? Obviously, this one does not. So it's correlation, not causation, as I always say. So we need to make sure that we're taking a look at adding images. Now, let me just really quick show you an example of how you could do something like this. Images. So it says flow chart. It says, what else did it say? Okay, screenshots, infographics. So I like to use Canva. And again, I'm going to put a link to all the software I use in addition to the resource that goes with this video so that you can go look at it. You can look at my steps. You can look at the processes. Okay. So I'm going to come up here and you could type something in like flowchart. And it'll give you all of these flowcharts that are completely customizable. Okay. So if you need a flowchart that has, this is a good one. Let's just take this one, for example. Customize this template. You can change the colors. You can change it to match your brand colors. But I might come up here and I might say content audit. Then I'm going to go over to the blog that I wrote, my blog that I wrote, not their 7 steps, but my steps. And I'm going to go look at all my content audit steps. And I'm going to say what needs to be on here. Okay, this has inventory creation. So I'm going to go back to Canva and I'm going to paste in inventory creation. And in any case, I'm going to create this flowchart. I'm going to put my branding on here. Then I can just upload that image straight to Surfer or straight to my blog. And now I have an image. So you could create a bunch of those. You could create images that have stats related to content audits. You know, content audits improve, according to case studies, and you'll put a link to your case studies. Content audits improve your SEO by X% or whatever. You could do those kinds of things. You could just put screenshots on here. You could type in, if you go back to the home page and you type in infographic, you'll see a whole bunch of infographic templates. And all you have to do is pick one of them and now just edit it to match your content. Okay. These are just different examples. You can play around this as much as you want to. Now you could, if you're using a site like Surfer, the AI tool actually includes Pixabay, which is a stock art, clip art, copyright-free image library. You could click here and it says a person looking at a laptop with a content audit tool. You can paste that in, see if it comes up with anything. It's not super robust as a search engine. You could just put in a laptop and see what comes up. Okay. If you like one of these images, you can just click the button and it'll put it in there. Not super unique. You decide whether it's important to you. It does increase your optimization score. You can satisfy that. I like him to be more helpful if you have the time and the ability. Some people will go ahead and publish their article and then go back and add the more fancy images once it starts to rank. Like, let's just say it hits the search engines at number 42. You got to go in and optimize some more. Now you go in and create all these great infographics. And those infographics and helpful flowcharts are helpful for gaining more backlinks from other websites. So for example, I had a blog and my blog was all about long tail keywords. And I used my real estate business as an example. And I created this little mind map or whatever of how I created those long tail keywords. And Neil Patel, who had one of the highest ranking domain authority scores around, all the backlink, linked to my page that gave an example. He used the image, then he credited my image and said, Lori Ballen used this long tail example for her real estate team. And he linked to it. So those are also good ways to get backlinks. Okay. Number 2 on the list of ways to outrank our competition is case studies. Now, this is where I pull in. You can keep using ChatGPT and go to new windows or new tabs, but I have found this cool Chrome extension. I'm going to open it right here, and it's called Sidebar. And it's actually got like 3 names, so I get really confused, like Chit Chat, Sidebar, whatever. So link in the description below. And in this particular case, you can see that it allows us to run ChatGPT 3.5 and still search the web, where ChatGPT in its native form forces us to go to 4.0. It times out after 25 uses, and then we can't browse the web. This doesn't have that limitation. It does have 4.0 limitations, but it added the web access to the 3.5. So this is how this is my workaround for getting past that 25 limit in an hour. Okay. So case study. So here's what I would do. In my particular case, my topic is content audit. So I come over here and I say, find me a recent case study of how someone improved their web rankings by performing a content audit. Okay, so now it goes out and it's looking to find us a case study. Now, in this particular case, it says one case study that demonstrates how someone improved their web rankings by performing a content audit is the case study of Two Dogs Media. They used Website Auditor. Ooh, that's an option for an affiliate link. So for those of you that don't know, I make 6 figures in affiliate commissions alone, which basically means when I talk about products in my blogs or in my videos, sometimes, not always, sometimes if there's a link and somebody signs up, I earn a commission. There's no extra charge to the person signing up, but the company pays me like a sponsor fee, right? Like an influencer fee, an affiliate commission. So anytime I'm writing a blog, I look for these kinds of things, and then I go open that software and I see if they have an affiliate program, and then I sign up for it. If I'm already talking about them, I'm going to put it in there. I might as well go look. That's a little sidebar for those of you that are interested in making more money with your blog. Affiliate marketing is huge. My case software. So one recent case study. So all I got to do is copy this. That's a case study. I'm going to go over here, and anywhere I want, where it makes sense, I can now add this case study. So I could put it right at the top to emphasize my point, okay? Or I could put it under the short summary, or I could put it anywhere else. Now, the way I copied it, it lists these little guys here in blue links. So that Two Dogs Media will be linked here. I want to see where that opens really quick. So I'm just going to open that link in a new tab. Okay, it actually goes to Website Auditor, and the case study is on this page. That's okay. That's where the case study is. I'm listing the person. I don't want to derail them and go off to an affiliate link if this is where the case study is. So I'm going to keep that there because I want them to be able to read all about this case study. Okay. That's an example. You can go find more recent ones. You can find 2, 3, or 4. You can sprinkle them wherever it's appropriate to do so, but that's a cool way that most people aren't using ChatGPT for. Okay, case studies. Number 3, I love this one. I do it all the time. Actionable examples. So number 3 on our list of 10 ways to use ChatGPT to outrank your competitor is use actionable examples. So while the article does a good job of outlining what to track and why, it could benefit from more actionable examples. For instance, explain what a good SEO title looks like or provide examples of how to interpret different metrics. Okay, remember in this particular case, we are analyzing somebody else's content. You could do this same thing, analyzing your own content after you write it and then go in and improve it. So it's saying use more actionable examples. So I'm going to go look at my own content and say, did I give actionable examples? Did I put that? Because that's going to improve, right? So here's an example. Let me get rid of that. So here it says, actually, I'm going to leave that one in there. Let's go down here. So benefits of regular content audits. Let's look at this one, setting goals for your content audit. So before diving into the content audit process, it's crucial to set goals that align with your business objectives and key performance indicators. Establishing explicit objectives ensures that your audit focuses on the areas, yada, yada. Okay, I'm going to just let my spell check that real quick. Okay, before diving into the content audit process, setting clear goals that align with your business objectives. I'm going to copy this. You don't even have to know what this means. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to come over here. I'm going to open my little sidebar. Now, remember, this sidebar is running ChatGPT. So you can either go over to your ChatGPT window, you can use your sidebar or whatever you're using. In this case, I get to use this on every window, so I'm using the sidebar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, give me an example. Furthermore, I am going to say, give me an example, and I'm going to give specific niches or customers or clients, whatever your blog is about. Think about your reader. Who is your reader? Give examples for that reader as much as possible. In my case, one of the audience niches that follows me is real estate agents because I'm a real estate agent also. So I might say, give me an example using the real estate niche. Okay, so I'm going to say, give me an example using the real estate niche. I'm going to put in a little colon and I'm going to paste in what they're saying to do with the content audit. So now what happens is it's giving us an example. Before conducting a content audit for a real estate website, it's important to establish clear goals. Okay, it didn't do a good job of that. So I'm going to go back and try this again with another prompt. Give me specific examples of the goals and how they are used in the audit. Use a real estate website example, colon, paste that. There we go. Here are some specific examples of goals. So increase organic search traffic by 20%. Improve user engagement and reduce bounce rate by 15%. Now, in this particular case, they're not doing a lot in the real estate space. So you could say, write that again, make it more real estate specific. In my case, I kind of like how it's just generic and the way it's written. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I'm just going to copy. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste that. So now they have an example. Now that's not super clean. In fact, maybe I don't want it to be steps. Make this example one paragraph. See how you can use ChatGPT to make the content format the way you want it? So here we go. For example, the goals could include increasing the organic search traffic by 20% the next quarter, improving user engagement and reducing bounce rate, yada, yada, yada. That's perfect. I'm going to go put that in here. So we are making this more helpful by using actionable examples. You want to do that all throughout your blogs. That's very important. In some cases, linking out to somebody you're using it as an example, kind of like a case study, is appropriate. If it's generic, you don't have to link out, okay? We do want to be creating outbound links throughout our blog. That's good for SEO anyway. So if I find a real example or I find that example listed on somebody else's website, then I could put that in there in the source. So for example, here we did compare the answer from the web. So this did not use the web to create the answer. Let's have it actually search the web, and now it'll bring links in with it. These links we can use now for sources. So it's out there scouring the web. It's looking for an example for me based on what I asked for. And now it's going to produce some sort of an example, and it's going to give us little links. Okay. Looks like it might be timing out right now. So we'll let it keep going. We'll probably pull in another example of that. In fact, let's just do that. So I'm going to stop generating, go down here. Inventory creation is the first step in a content audit, involves gathering. Okay. I'm going to say, give me an example of this using a real estate niche, comma, there it goes. In the real estate niche, inventory creation is a crucial step in conducting an audit. It involves gathering data, neighborhood guides, videos, images. So it is making it personal to the internet. Let's see, compare answer from the web, if it'll give me a quick answer there. There we go. So now it's pulling in examples with links. So see here, in the real estate niche, creating an inventory is a crucial step in conducting. It's linking to Inman News, who's a real estate publisher that created 16 ways to create your own real estate inventory. Down here, it's linking to how to build a real estate website. And down here, it's linking to 3 ways to create your own inventory as a real estate agent. So if they're appropriate, we can leave those links in there. If they're not appropriate, we can take them out. But let's just say we like that. I would copy it and I would paste it down here somewhere under inventory creation. And now I have an example. Okay. Those are ways that we can do this. So now number 4 in the 10 ways we can outrank our competition using ChatGPT. Number 4 is adding interactive elements. These would be calculators. They would be polls. They could be a survey. They could be downloadable content. They can be an audit template that you create. As a matter of fact, if you go to a new chat, I'm not going to do it today because it's too technical, but you go to a new chat and you tell ChatGPT, I need you to help me create code for a X calculator, for a blank quiz. Ask me questions or create the quiz and then help me create the code. Then you put that code on your website, you have an interactive quiz. That ChatGPT will actually do that. I need to make another video on that because I haven't done it yet. Alternatively, you could do something like this. We go over to YouTube and you type in your subject matter. And in my case, this is the content audit, how to do a content audit, how to do a content audit. Okay. Then I'm going to use filters and I'm going to say, show me this year only so that it's recent. And I'm going to go down here and pick somebody's content audit. Let's take a quick look at hers.
A content inventory is a list of content organized in a spreadsheet or table. It includes a list of URLs and corresponding information.
Hers specifically relates to the inventory portion in our article. I like that. So I'm going to click share and I'm going to click copy. We have sharing rights to this video, even though I didn't create it. It's part of YouTube's terms of service. If the person uploads their video and doesn't want anybody to use it, it won't be embeddable. We won't have that embed code that's right here. We won't have that. It'll be blocked out, grayed out. You won't be able to grab it because they didn't give permission. But if they uploaded it in their straight form, they're giving you permission to share it. You don't have permission to chop it up, to make changes. You're just able to share it. So what I do is I use WordPress and I have the new WordPress Gutenberg. I'm able to just click in here, click this share. And when I put that link on my WordPress blog, it turns into a video. Okay. You might instead have a little block that allows you to enter an embed code or allows you to enter something else on there, the embed frame, okay? In my case, I would just, so she was talking about inventory, so I'm going to go down to where I wrote about inventory, data collection and analysis. I think there was another place, but I'll just go ahead and do it here where I talk about inventory. Oh, right here, inventory, right above it. So now I might go here and paste that video, okay? So when I copy this over to my WordPress blog, that video will now turn into that thumbnail and it'll make it like an actual video. That's interactive content. They're going to play with the video. There's other bonuses for using video, but we'll just stick with that one for now. Okay. Number 5 in our step-by-step process for 10 ways to outrank your competitors article is updated information. So you go look at this article and see if there's things that you can update. First thing you should do is go look at the date. This one was 2023, but sometimes it'll say 2018, 2019, 2020. Go look at your topic and what's new in that space. Now, hers was March 4th. This content audit, does she mention ChatGPT anywhere on here? There's one, and I think that's linked to me somewhere. I don't even think it's on that blog. I think I have it somewhere open on the screen. Or does she mention AI or artificial intelligence, right? If not, what a great way to update this content is to give an example of how ChatGPT can help with those elements. That might be one way to update it. Another way is, does she mention EEAT? Google rolled out as part of its new ranking factors, EEAT, that adds the word expertise, adds the word experience to the old EAT, which was experience, authority, and trust. Now we have expertise, authority, and trust. Now we have experience in there. Experience. They want to see how you personally used an item before you talked about it or reviewed it or things like that. So EEAT, if she doesn't mention that anywhere in there, I could go in and say, for example, if you're doing a content audit, trying to improve your ranking on Google, you might want to consider EEAT, and here's where that would come into play. Those are just examples of how to make things updated. You also could use ChatGPT. It's going to take too long to do this, but I'll just tell you. You go to a new chat, you go to 4.0 and select the Bing search, right? Then you type in, find me out, is there anything on this article that could be updated? Or are there any broken links on this article? Paste it and let it go out and give you more suggestions. So anywhere you're stuck on here, just go to a new chat and do it again, pull down some more suggestions, okay? So that is how you would do the updated information. Number 6 is really cool. And this is, how can I use ChatGPT to create a frequently asked questions section for a blog? Now, ChatGPT said our competitor doesn't have a frequently asked questions, and they are right. I went and looked, and they do not, okay? Again, these things don't necessarily make us rank higher, but they're all correlating factors of what we see in top-ranking blogs, so why not try that? Why not work to improve the process? So what I would do is I'm going to use my little window on my little sidebar instead of going back to the ChatGPT window, because I'm working within here, and I want to add an FAQ. Now, Surfer, if you're using the one-click blog post, the Surfer AI writing tool, then it creates the FAQ for you. It already makes you frequently asked questions. But if you wanted to, you don't have that, I'm going to come over here and say, create a FAQ about doing a content audit. And it will now write you an FAQ that's original content that you can now use to add to your blog. This is a great process. If you just want to go in and update all your blogs, go in and add an FAQ to them, and that's a good way of improving old content. I'll show you the plagiarism check. We're going to go like this. I could paste them into, let's just say I'm going to replace this one, FAQ, for example, paste it in there. And then I use Surfer right here, go to these 3 dots, and run a plagiarism check, and it will check it. Alternatively, if you're not using Surfer SEO, you could use Grammarly. I have the premium version, and that allows you to do a plagiarism check. I'm going to go to new. I'm going to paste in the content, and I'm going to go right here to plagiarism, and it'll go run a plagiarism check. Now, the difference between the two is Surfer is not as strict with how it checks things. It's looking for large groups of text together. Grammarly, anywhere you see 6 or more words together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or more words strung together, it'll flag it as plagiarism even if it's not, because it wants you to check if it is. So for example, what are the steps involved in conducting A? Well, you could see why that would be on their blog post. It's not plagiarism. We didn't steal it anywhere. It's just a commonly used start to that question. So I would ignore that. I'm going to get rid of that. No big deal. If you want to rephrase it a million times, you can rephrase it so that you get 0% plagiarism. But as you can see, that little FAQ that we just pulled has absolutely no plagiarism in it, right? So we know this is original content being produced by Surfer SEO or being produced by ChatGPT. So you're good to go on that. You create a FAQ. Number 7 in the 10 ways to improve our competitors' article, right? The ranking is we create a clearer structure. So it says here, the article can benefit from a clearer, more streamlined structure. Break up the process into distinct steps and use subheadings to highlight these steps. This will make the article easier to follow and allow readers to find the information they're looking for. So I go back over here and I can see when I went over and scanned this, they have 4 steps, but it's not real informative. It doesn't really tell them how to do these things. They're kind of generic. And then even further than that, it doesn't really look like steps. So here's step 1, set your goals. And it's got a few things on here. But we could probably elaborate and make those steps more concise or provide more steps. So for example, our article, we have one here that says, okay, we're doing our inventory creation as a step. So content evaluation and grading. We want to make sure this is a step. So instead, this might say step 4. Surfer SEO didn't give it to us in steps, but maybe I want it to be steps, right? So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to open my little sidebar ChatGPT. It says, what would you like to do with the text? Put this in a step-by-step process. You could even say, put this in a timeline. Tell me what tools I'm going to need. You can make this incredibly informative and helpful, okay? Align business goals. So once you're done with that, you can just click copy and you can paste that over here. And now you have a step-by-step process on how to do this. This is going to make it more helpful, okay? 8, a concise summary. A concise summary is this. Look at my article up top. Surfer SEO's AI tool automatically writes a summary for me. It creates it right here. You can create this after you write your own blog. Create a short, concise summary. Let them know the takeaways. Some people put takeaways. You can put short summary. You could even write an article in ChatGPT or paste an article you already wrote and say, create a summary, create a short summary, create a list of takeaways. You can do that. But you can also do that from your competitor. But look at this. They didn't do one at all. So ChatGPT was 100% correct. They don't have one, and this is how we can improve it. So they nailed it again. Number 9 would be the inclusion of recent trends. Content landscape is always changing. Including information about recent trends and content strategy and SEO can make the article more relevant and useful. I think I used the ChatGPT example up here when they were talking about formatting or structure or something like that, but that would be a good example. I know that we have new AI technology, so maybe when I'm talking about the content audit, I go look for, are there any new AI tools I could use for creating a content audit? This would make my content more updated than theirs if it's appropriate to do so, okay? So they make this little list and they talk about it, and I might say, how is artificial intelligence helping with content audits? Maybe that's a whole paragraph. Maybe that's another section. So then it talks about how AI is relevant. So that would be one way that we could bring up trending topics, right? And number 10 is simple, and it's proofread. As with any piece of writing, make sure to proofread. I already talked about that a little bit. For me, I use the Grammarly Chrome extension. So anywhere I'm writing, Grammarly is running and it's underlining how I can improve my sentence structure. I do have the premium version that does a little extra. So it's checking for spelling. It's checking for passive voice. It's checking for how we can take a long paragraph and put it down into a couple sentences to make it less wordy, all working to improve the user experience. So we're definitely going to check that. So there you have it. These are the 10 unbelievable ways to outrank your competitors using ChatGPT. Resources are in the video below. My name is Lori Ballen, and thank you so much for watching with me today.